who feel that everybody could, if pressured enough, become and have a psychotic episode like this. And there are others who feel that only those who have a tendency to easy disorganization of the brain by their metabolism, that only they can get the psychotic trips. Because certainly when we analyze the underlying strife or conflicts that go on in a schizophrenic when they have recovered enough, that we find not too different a set of circumstances than what we find in the neurotic.
Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
To save the patient from what would otherwise be a severe neurotic phenomenon. The patient that you saw me walking with demonstrates on the 8th day after admission the continuing presence of a catatonic panic.
All right, happy Wednesday night. We've got
again.
here Fatalist. Actually, this is kind of cool because, like, I met Francesca probably 10 years ago.
Not quite, but close.
Yeah, close to 10 years ago at Metal in the Mountains, where kind of my little career of doing this kind of really jumped off. And this is also the 200th episode of Sound Injection. So it's kind of a special one. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, yeah. People keep telling me 2006 was 10 years ago, and I keep telling them to shut the fuck up. Don't say that to me. Oh my God, be quiet. How dare you? Get out of my face with that. That's not the kind of positivity I want this year.
It was. It's like, good God, like you it's. I feel like time goes faster the older you get. The year goes by.
I have a theory on why that happens.
I need to hear this theory.
My theory is because 1 year becomes proportionately smaller as you get older, as you accumulate more of them, right? So like when you're a baby, 1 year seems like forever because it's the entirety of your life. And then as you're like 30, which we'll pretend I'm 30, then like that 1 year becomes proportionately much smaller. So it's
percentage of it drops. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, I like your hair.
So I'm like sitting here.
I grew up myself.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, I feel like I was just like 30 just the other day, and now I'm pushing 43, and I'm like, what the fuck has happened?
I feel that way about 26. For some reason, that age, like, it's probably because it's the last time I drank alcohol, but like that year definitely sticks with me, and I can't believe it's been as long. I'm like, that was only, dang, it's fast for sure.
It is. It's absolutely fucking nuts. All right, so you guys have done a lot in the last couple of years, like a fucking lot, and your sound is dramatically different than your days of like Fate Destroyed. So what kind of went into going from Fate Destroyed to Fatalist?
I love answering this question, and I'm going to try not to be super long-winded, but you know, it's me. So
Hey, go for it.
So basically with Fate Destroyed, it was my first time being a vocalist. It was because I kind of started that, I wouldn't say as a joke, but I was in a hotel room and I was on tour because I was playing bass for Stabbing Westward reunion tour, and I was with the guitar player and we just like wrote Break Free, and I kind of just like put it up. I had no actual intentions of doing anything other than just putting it up, and then for some reason it mega exploded, and I wasn't prepared to be a vocalist, and then a lot of things happened really quickly. And I think, you know, with Fate Destroyed, it was like most people have the luxury of going through their like awkward learning of themselves and their sound like privately, because most people, you don't like, the first project isn't the one that pops off for a lot of people, I have found. It's usually like years on the grind before anything happens. And with Fate Destroyed, that it was all very like public, and I was learning as I was going, and it just sort of became this feeling where, you know, we were talking to different labels and talking to different management companies, and people were wanting us to do things, but it just kept being like a tighter and tighter box of what we had to do and be to be able to do that. Right? It was, we want more singing. Everyone wanted to put us as, I love Spirit Box. I love Courtney LaPlante. I fangirled over meeting her in LAX, but that's not the kind of music that we make, right? And so it was very much because that's what was really getting popular at the time. Bands like Ginger and bands like Spirit Box and, you know, things like that. That's what everybody wanted us to do. And whenever I wanted to incorporate parts of sound that I liked that was more aggressive, it just didn't seem to fit what everybody else wanted. And then it eventually became a thing where like one of our guitar players moved to Florida, and then another guitar player moved to Colorado. So we were trying to manage things remotely, and it was working, except we had to fly people in every time we wanted to do shows and fly people in for music videos. And it just really got to a point where it was like, I'm not really enjoying the music that I'm making because everyone is telling me what to do. Everyone is living really far away. It's so expensive to be able to afford the things that we're doing. And anytime I actually put in something that I like and that I appreciate, I'm, you know, it's met with, but this isn't what you're supposed to sound like. And so I really wanted to make the music that I listen to, you know, because I do listen to that other kind of music, but if you look at my playlist, it's fully different from it. I just wanted to play music that I would want to go see and that I would enjoy. And I think growing as an artist and everything to do with that just sort of made the transition sort of make sense. And a lot of people find it very confusing because it was like, at the time that I decided to hang up Fate Destroyed, it was like really, we were reaching the peak of our success. I mean, we were playing we had played pretty much every major metal festival in the country. We had millions of streams. We had, you know, tens of thousands of monthly listeners. Our social media was blowing up. It was really like right at the peak of that. And, you know, people were like, why in the fuck would you, sorry. People were like, why would you, oh, okay. People were like, why in the fuck would you like exit out of that? And it's like, because at the end of the day, when you play a show to 8,000 people as we did, and then you get off stage and you think to yourself, God, I wish I could have played something else. That's the sign that it's time to pack. It's time to pack it up and do something else.
I agree. Like you can't be a musician and not play and create what you want to create, because ultimately you're supposed to create for you. Now, other people I'm sure will love it, but at the end of the day, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
So if you're going up there on stage playing shit that you're just like, I don't like doing this, and it starts feeling like a 9-to-5 job.
Yes.
You're done. Like,
right.
All right, Kaylin.
So y'all are from Los Angeles. I want to know, what is the scene like there right now?
Ooh, depends on what scene you're talking about. All right, so like the main, like what is really, really big here, and something that I was almost completely blind to, is like the people always talk about the scene dying, but what is actually dying is like going to places like the Whiskey or the Troubadour or the big places. What is really blowing up is like backyard shows, is like, you know, I will literally go to hardcore shows here. There will be 400 kids packed out into a backyard every single, on a random Tuesday in somebody's garage, right?
House parties. There's been a lot of like, there's a whole thing on Instagram right now where you can find like where all the house parties would be. And I love that. I think they should bring it, like it should be making a comeback, right? You know, and you reach the most people like that for me.
Make it accessible.
Yeah.
And I mean, because there are two major three major things that are make it inaccessible. And you have to remember, and this is like, I kind of went on a rant about this, but like people who make metal have to remember that we're all fucking broke. Like, what do you mean $40 a ticket to go see a show? I can't afford that, but I'll pay $10 to go to somebody's backyard where it's all ages. So, you know, and you have like the people who are into heavy aggressive music, they're kids. They're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And when every single venue is 21 plus and it's a bar and it's $40 to get in, it's like you're literally squeaking out and avoiding the people who are the tastemakers, the people who are making the music popular, the people who are sharing it with their friends. When we played that show in SD, that all ages show, we played in a tire shop, right? There was probably like, I mean, they weren't there to see us. I'm happy they saw us, but there was like well over 100 kids all throwing down in the like 3:00 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? And it was like, and that's what it is. So people, I think the commercial scene is definitely dying unless you're like in the upper echelon of bands, unless you're like Applauding You or Sleep Token, or those bands are doing great and love that for them, you know. But there's like no, just like in the economy, there's no middle fucking ground. So what's really cool is that in Los Angeles, something that is really big is the DIY scene, the DIY shows, you know, this is not an actual venue. We're just going to rent a warehouse and throw a show here. That is what's really big in Los Angeles right now.
That's awesome. My favorite pizza place I just saw is putting on those types of shows. You can't really see, but like they have like a side parking lot of a pizza joint. Just like it's, you know, up Denny's kind of
tattoo shops are throwing shows. It's just anywhere that isn't, and you know, it's a combination of so many things, right? It's like, I have so much to say about it, but it's like, you know, the venues are trying to survive, and they're like, why are tickets dwindling? And it's like, well, because it's $40 and $50 a fucking ticket, and then the people who are throwing shows are like, well, how much does it charge? You know, it's just all become so expensive that people have really forgotten that this music, heavy aggressive music, is not for fucking rich people who have hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars in their bank account. No. It's for us, people who have nothing, and this is all we have, and this is why we go, and this is why we mosh, and this is why we're angry, because fuck the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, as long as you have someone that can run sound, and you're good to go. I mean, they got the equipment set up in somebody's backyard. I'm all for it. Like, I went house parties, backyard parties. It needed to make a comeback.
It did.
It kind of reminds me of Jacksonville, because Jacksonville, Florida is doing a lot of that same stuff. Like, there's this place called Pingleheads, and it's a pizza parlor / brewery that do shows. And they went back there and built this like wooden platform stage back.
We've been on those in Florida, in Delphine. They were building during sound check.
Yeah.
Really
like crazy.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that for the scene. I love that for the culture. I love that, you know, in a time especially where everybody feels so confined, and you know, I think what is also very true is like, as things, I'm not going to talk politics, but as things get more oppressive, the outlets become more important, right? And people are seeking community, they're seeking kinship. Every time we go to shows in LA, everything is fuck ice, which absolutely, and it's so nice. And what's really great about LA in particular that I really appreciate is the hardcore scene gives back. Like, they do toy drives, they do fundraisers for fire victims, and this stuff is like reaching mainstream media news. These people who are just literally just bands are coming together and being like, you know what, y'all aren't gonna help us, and we'll fucking help ourselves, and they'll throw benefits and like help people, and it's just like, that's what it's supposed to be about, you know?
I love that. Absolutely. I know there's a place in here in my state in South Carolina. You go 2 hours north to Columbia, there's a house that somebody turned into a venue. Used to be a house. Now it's a venue, and it's mainly like hardcore, deathcore, grindcore bands that are playing, but it's all ages, and it's absolutely fucking insanity. But it is the funnest time that you'll ever fucking have.
Shea Cafe in San Diego is like that. It's a collective, and it's a free food pantry. So anyone who wants to, nobody works there. It's all volunteers. You know, and people, it's all ages. You can come anytime, and they have a stage in there, and they throw some crazy. The Chop Shop is another one. It's just, there are so many of these venues that are coming, or not venues, but like spaces that are coming together to provide the space for heavy music, you know? And it's like, people always talking about, or it seems a lot of times if you're not tapped into that scene, like, oh, this band came out of nowhere. And it's like, no, they've been in that circuit doing those shows at those venues for like years, building that actual community and fan base. And that's where the real success comes, because, you know, one of my biggest inspirations in Los Angeles right now is this band called Desmadre. They're also really nice people, despite the fact that their music is fucking disgusting in the best way. And you know, it's like, it doesn't matter where they play. It doesn't matter how they play. It doesn't matter what they post. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Every single person in LA respects them for what they do for the community, for everybody. They show up, they pull up, and they don't have to do any of that foo-foo shit. They just go in there and they're real, and they have spent the time building that community. And that's what I want to do with Fatalist. I don't want to be an internet famed band, you know, and Fate Destroyed, so much of it was, I was under this mindset that's all about social media numbers. You got to make the numbers look big. You got to make the numbers look big. And it's like, but, you know, if you have 50,000 monthly listeners, but you're not pulling hundreds of people to a show, then what does that mean? You know what I mean? What is the social media number? Who fucking cares? I want to be able to play to people who can sing our songs back to us, who are like, we saw you play this. We saw you play that. That's what I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Meg, you're up.
All right. What is the biggest lesson that you have learned in your music career?
Oh, Chris, you start with that. You go first.
It's like, I'm throwing you on the bus.
I've talked enough, bro.
She tagged him in.
I have no idea what I'm I don't know, man. Like don't give up, I guess, because I almost sort of accepted it during the pandemic, where I was like, I guess I'm a bedroom guitar player on Instagram for the rest of my life. I was like slowly accepting that, and then the day the pandemic basically opened up in California, she was like, "Hey, we got a show." I'm like, "Sick,
Yeah.
let's go." Never went back to that mindset ever again. So that for me was definitely it. Was just resilience and
Don't give up.
pushing through something like that.
Um,
Self-doubt, I guess.
I think the biggest practical lesson I've learned is never rely on a venue to have shit. That's the
Yeah.
whatever it is, you think, well, what if the venue I'm not relying on your backline, your cables, we are fully contained. We can play a show. But that's like practical advice that I can give. But I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is that embarrassment is a very underexplored emotion. And everything you want is on the other side of embarrassment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
You have to be the person who's putting yourself out there, you know. And I'm not saying that there are lots of bands, especially, you know, who make their success by having that air of mystery and having that, you know, they're a dark, spooky, brutal band. But me and Chris are fucking goobers, right? Like, I make really violent, aggressive music about kicking teeth in and shit. But honestly, I'm never going to be that serious, you know? And I mean, I'll throw down. Let's not get it twisted. But the point though is that, you know, there was a time period when I was in a relationship where I was with somebody who very much was like, what you do is cringe, what you do is corny, what you do is blah, blah, blah. Nobody takes you seriously. You're a joke. And it inhibited my life to the point where I didn't put out music for over a year, you know, because I was just I didn't want to feel embarrassed. And it's like, fuck that. I'm just going to do what I can do, and people will fuck with it or they don't fuck with it. But I'm just going to keep doing it.
Gonna fuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys at Metal Mountains was one of the bands that stood out to me the most when I was there. You know, throughout all the bands that were there, which there were great bands out there. We're talking, you know, Chelsea Grin was there, Slaughter to Prevail was there. You know, All That Remains, and I'm meeting all these bands and Seasons and all these other great bands. You guys were awesome.
Thank you.
You were the first band to walk up to us and go, "Hey, we want to interview with you." And we went back in this little I don't know, it's like a boutique or something that was a hairdressing place, and sat on the couch and started having the conversations. And I remember you were one of the first ones that didn't get upset by a question I asked, because I asked you guys, if you had a vagina for 24 hours, what would you do with it? You had the wildest answer, which I wasn't really geared towards you. It's geared towards the guys, but you went with it, and it was fucking hilarious. I wish I still had that to where I could show what it was, but I still actually have the Fate Destroyed shirt that you gave me.
That's awesome.
I still have it. It's old as hell.
We give out, dude. I love giving out merch. You want to know why? Because here's some tea or thought. Right, I could spend $60 in ads, right, and reach 5,000 people, 10,000 people, whatever, who don't fucking give a fuck, right?
Mhm.
Or I can go print 10 American Apparel, not American Apparel, but what is it? Gildan, whatever, bullshit ass shirt, and then go throw those out at a show. People will remember that. They'll remember that. They'll remember that you gave them a free shirt. And then by the end of the show, I'm filming shit and there's hella people in Fatalist shirts. And it's like, good, now you'll remember. So I don't know. I just feel like I love giving out our merch. I need to stop doing that because my wallet can't afford it. But.
It worked. It worked. Because I remember after the interview, you came up to our tent and you handed me a shirt. And I was just like, ooh.
I miss Play Festival so much. Then everything became a fucking Twitch stream. And I just can't. That's my grandma. This is the key.
Festivals were everything.
Yo, and we were so privileged to do so many. And, you know, it's like those opportunities are, like we were saying before, it's so different now to start fully over when people, it doesn't matter what I used to do. People care about what you're doing now. So those conversations, it's so different now when it's not like, oh, we have, 70,
now they want you to pay to play. If you want to pay a festival, you got to play.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like that too. And we definitely paid for some of the slots that we played, and I don't regret that at all because again, it's like you can spend all of this money on ads, or you can go play to 1,000 people or 800 people, and then with Blue Ridge, our first Blue Ridge, we paid to play that with that slot at Blue Ridge, and to this day, we still have in our comments people, oh my god, I saw you scream at Blue Ridge and blah blah blah, and it's just like those are the lasting memories, and that's what I think is the best. The thing that is most important to me about Fatalist or about any project that we do, and one of the things I love about working with this guy, I don't know if he's actually on this side in the stream, but it seems like he is. Don't you fucking point at me. Is having a memorable live show, man. Because I feel like people feel like, whatever, and then they see us live and they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I see what you're doing now.
That's what got me with Fate Destroyed is because I never heard you guys before, and so I made a point to go over there and watch, and I was side stage for y'all's performance,
which is the worst place to watch a show. You can't hear shit.
I was just like, holy shit, this band is badass, and it left a lasting impression because I had no idea that you were Fatalist until Justin or CB down there is my roommate. So he's like, hey, I booked this band Fatalist, and he comes and hands me your stuff, and I'm looking at you and I'm like, that's Francesca.
You're like, this bitch.
Holy shit. I was like, I'm glad to see her back.
I feel like I've risen from the dead. And the new music is heavy as fucking dick balls, and I love it. I love that it is music that I like. I love that it's music that we write, and then I basically am not going to say that. I basically am sitting at home just listening to my music over and over again, being like, damn, this is actually pretty fucking good, and that's important.
That is important. It is.
Yeah.
I humbly showed up on my top 5 of the year lists. I
was getting a little freaked out because I saw something that said that Spotify gives you a negative mark in their little fucking bullshit algorithm, which the Spotify algorithm is getting fucking weird.
Yeah.
It never shows me new music anymore. Even if you use the AI DJ or your weekly discover or whatever, all the preemptive playlists, it's never new music. I have to literally go to specific playlists that I like to hear new stuff. And that's not the way it used to be. It used to be that I would put on playlists bands.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, that's to me, most of the bands, for us, when we go for sound injection and we're looking for new bands to book to the show, because we primarily focus on independent DIY bands. Now, have we had some bigger bands on? Yes. If they come to us and ask to be on the show, we'll do it. But we primarily look for more independent bands. We primarily use YouTube and TikTok to find all of our bands. So most of the bands that I have found in the past 2 years have been YouTube.
Yep.
Literally, that's how I found them.
And that's something we need to focus on more. It gets so like overwhelming, you know, to be like, okay, I have this short and now I gotta post it on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and blah 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 and this and that and the third.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I just need to invest in like Hootsuite or whatever the fuck that software is that like you upload one video and it posts it to everything.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that.
Yep, absolutely. All right, CB, you're up, bro.
What is your greatest fan interaction?
Wait, do you have one for me, or because I don't know. I think anyone who just says hi, I saw you play, is cool with me. Like if anyone just after a show comes up to me, like I love all of that because I've done that to bands and been in that position, so I kind of know what that's like. So I am eternally grateful for anyone just to say hey. They all stand out, I guess. I don't have like one crazy big thing that I can think of, but I'm sure she does.
I don't have anything. I don't know what
I don't have anything. Dang, I thought you would have something.
No.
Some dude at Doomy's, remember, he came up to me at my favorite restaurant. Some dude that works here, he's like, hey man, I saw you on TikTok. I'm like, I'm not on TikTok. He's like, purple guitar. I'm like, you saw me on TikTok. Yeah. So that counts.
Okay.
Greatest is very different from wildest. So I'm gonna
That
Let's
too.
do both. Let's do both.
Yeah.
We've definitely been to some crazy after parties. Like we ended up in a wolf sanctuary one time on tour.
Wow.
And in a hot tub. It was super fun. We had a great time. Super great time. We partied. People just like brought us. Well, he doesn't drink, but I do. So they were bringing us alcohol, and we were hanging. I mean, I had a great time. I hardly remember it, which is how you know it was great. I'm sure Chris was like, "Oh my god!" Please.
Yeah, it was Lake Travis in the middle of the night. It was nice. It was middle of nowhere.
He's probably just like, "Oh my god!" And everybody was like partying, and we were on tour, so it was like all the bands, and that was like super fun because it was just like this person. So that was a cool one. With Fatalist, we haven't really done a lot of. I mean, we've done a tour. We did a tour in 2023. Was it 2023?
2025?
24?
24. You're yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we
24.
did. With oh my god,
That band.
all those bands. All those
They're
people,
from
all
that,
those,
I don't know where they're from. Are
I
they
don't know
all
where
from Texas? I think they're from Texas.
dude, with like the best drummer. They're like the younger kid who was a drummer. I don't remember. Oh my god, I'm so bad at
Chelsea Grintech now, I think. Something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that was all super fun. But the weirdest or craziest was actually in Fate Destroyed. And that was that fucking guy that like showed up to that show with a bottle of alcohol.
Yep, with the hat.
With the hat and was like, oh. Or when I had somebody bring me pictures of me in lingerie to sign, and I was like,
they brought him to me and asked me if she would be okay with signing them. And I'm like, I don't know. What? Why would you?
They like
she knows them. I don't ask her, bro. Like, you do whatever you gotta do.
And I've you know what? And that's the thing that fucking sucks is like I am a sexual person. I love being a woman. I obviously spend money on, you know, fillers, Botox, whatever. I like to be feminine. And if I feel like as a vocalist, I have to like pick a lane. I have to either like be able to express myself that way or like then that becomes all you're seen for or known as. So it's like kind of boo on that. But yeah, so that or there was this guy who came to one of our shows, was trying to come to one of our shows, and he had messaged me before and was like, I want to get a hotel room with you. And I was like, no. And I blocked him. And then he like showed up to the show and was like trying to actually get through security to like come into the show. And like he brought this alcohol and we had to get people to ask him to leave because he wouldn't leave. So there was that. But yeah, but the greatest one for sure was just we ended up meeting up with some people at a show on tour, and we ended up going to like this wolf sanctuary in the middle of the woods in this giant house. And our drummer at the time almost died from eating the spiciest sauce ever, like the bomb sauce. He literally was like, he was freaking out. He had like big giant globs and just like ate it, not knowing what it was, and was just like, laid out. But we got to go in hot tub, and it was super fun.
I've been there and done that. I actually did. Actually, it was right after I met y'all at Metal in the Mountains, I had to go from Metal in the Mountains all the way to a horror convention in Ogden, Utah. And I got challenged to do this, like, there's this hot sauce guy there that had like
Chris would love that.
50,000 different types of hot sauce. And he was like, if you could do my hot sauce challenge, I'll pay for you to get a tattoo. And there's a tattoo artist right across, and they're like, but you have to do it live on your page. And at that point, my page was like 200,000 something followers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, fuck it. Okay, why not? I'll do it. I love hot shit. Yeah, I fucking regretted it, but got the I got that fucking tattoo. I damn near died.
What did you get? Like the bottle of the sauce?
No, I got a tattoo of Sam from Trick or Treat.
Nice.
That's actually fire.
And he's down my.
I'm glad he didn't pick the tattoo too.
Yeah, I picked it. It was Sam from Trick or Treat. It's on my fucking leg, but I think it was like 10 hot sauces.
That's
but my
amazing.
stomach, it literally felt like Wolverine was shredding my inside. But 2 hours after that, I was just like in so much pain.
Yeah, we did a TikTok thing, a TikTok live, which failed miserably. We're still working on our TikTok. It's coming together, I think, slowly. But we did a hot sauce roulette where we got one of those shot roulette games, but we like chose like each one had different hot sauces in it, and we would have to spin and then like answer a question from the chat and like try to answer the question after like taking a bite of the hot sauce.
Oh, no.
Would not recommend, bruh. Nobody wants to see me all snotty, like my favorite part about being a musician.
You should do it in a mask, because like I had my clown mask.
Oh no!
And so like what is like filling up inside of the fucking mask? It's horrid. Horrid. We did one worse after that because we ended up doing for charity. We were doing like jackass bullshit on live feed.
Oh, I can do that for sure.
Same guy sent us free hot sauce to the house. He's like, you got to use this hot sauce for the charity. And it was like Hellboy hot sauce from the movie. But it was like horrible. It's like ghost pepper, reaper, everything, scorpion pepper, all in there. But I had to dip a tarantula in it and eat the tarantula with hot sauce. My jackass self didn't know that you're supposed to burn the hairs off the tarantula before you eat it. So I dipped it straight up with hair and all and shoved it in my mouth, and all the hairs got stuck in my mouth for days. For days, I had tarantula hairs in my tongue, mouth, everything. I don't know what was worse, the heat or the tarantula hairs, because it's god awful.
Jesus.
That's a crazy story. I don't have anything.
Words to live by.
All right, Caitlin, you're up.
So while we're playing in the food areas, what is the weirdest snack that you like to eat? The going trend right now is girl snacks, where they do like random cottage cheese on this, or the girl Courtney on TikTok puts cheese inside her sweet potato. So what is your craziest
really good,
snack?
yeah. I like Ben and Jerry's, the Tonight, what's the Tonight Show one?
Yeah, Tonight Dough with the
Tonight
cookie
Dough?
dough. Yeah.
With Flaming Hot Funyuns. That is literally
Oh,
my
wow.
favorite snack. It's so good. I like dip the Funyuns in it, and it's my waist does not love it. My above 30 stomach also doesn't love it now. But as a young hot girl, that was my shit, and I still eat it. I don't care. What about you, Chris?
Takis, 100%.
That's not a weird snack.
That's
You said ice cream.
I said ice cream with hot Funyuns.
Like separately, or did you?
No, together. I dipped the
Together.
Funyuns.
All right,
together.
all right, cool. I've dipped Takis in hummus. That's pretty good. But I can eat an entire loaf of bread with just mustard and mayonnaise.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know if I don't know if that's a snack for most people, but like,
I mean, it's all as a snack.
I've bought that. Like, I've gone to the store deliberately just for bread, mustard, mayonnaise, and just handled that entire loaf one sitting.
That is disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like any other sandwich, just without the meat and cheese.
First off, that would kill me because I am highly allergic to mustard.
Really?
Oh shit! Yeah, I love mustard.
I love
I'm
mustard.
deathly allergic to mustard. So
Yeah.
mustard is a no go right off the bat.
You can't
But
tell the internet how they can off you. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't think I mix anything. Like I'm not doing pickles and chocolate or anything.
You don't even need pickles.
You love pickles.
I'm a dude. Pickles
She
are
is a
fucking
pickles-
world. Anything that has pickles in it.
Oh
I
yeah.
love
So
pickles.
like I'm pregnant right now, so my craving has been imitation crab meat with bread and butter pickles. That is what I've been eating for lunch and all that.
Yo,
Like, how are we combining this? Like
Eating it together. It's something about the bread and butter pickle crunch
so
with
good.
the imitation crab meat. I don't know. It's a texture thing. It tastes good. That's what I'm into right
I
now.
love bread and butter.
Don't
pickles.
argue with her, bro.
well, I can't really argue with her much because she's my boss. So
That's so funny.
I can judge her a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
All right, Meg, you're up.
What is a conspiracy theory that your band would start just for fun?
Ooh,
Ooh.
That's a good one.
that's a really good
Mhm.
question.
That is a good one. About
Hmm.
Does it have to be
Whatever.
about music? Does it can it be about anything?
about the band, like a
Anything.
rumor about the band that we start ourselves.
Anything.
Sure.
That would be probably
Sure.
we're most likely to do that than make something up that's like not about us. 'Cause, you
Okay.
know,
Okay, what would be a rumor? What would be a rumor then?
I don't know. I feel like I would have to have a lot more confidence in myself to be rumorable.
Okay,
Nobody
okay,
wants to talk about me. I'm
I
running
would,
for office.
I would
I have
go
no
something.
idea.
I'd go something wild, like I headlined a fucking donkey show in fucking Mexico.
I could not.
No, I haven't.
People would believe that, and
Ellie
that's
was a nice
really
lady.
not work.
Okay, we had a good time.
Hey, you know what? People would Google us. People would Google. They'd be like, "Fatalist Donkey Show."
Donkey Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
in fact,
There we
that's
go.
the rumor. That's literally
That's
He
it.
the
played
rumor.
San
That's
Diego.
the
The
rumor, yeah.
timeline lines up.
That's pretty good.
Oh, well, I mean, what
I
would
actually
you
love that answer. I'm still. You know what? I'm posting that tomorrow.
Can you imagine,
Yeah.
imagine like all the outlets picking it up?
Tomorrow on like
Fatalist.
Loudwire or whatever. Metal.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. My favorite, and I think I posted a TikTok about. I think I deleted the TikTok, but I had posted it because it was so crazy. There was like a really famous band who was selling their drummer's seat or vocalist semen as like in their merch. They were like, I did it like I did a video. I did a fucking video on it. It was like roses are red. Now is the season. The vocalist of blah 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 is now selling their semen, and they were literally selling the semen as merch. I want to.
Who?
Oh my god.
I'm googling that shit right now.
I feel like I could name like five. I could name 5 bands that would not surprise me, but I would get canceled if I named them.
Bro,
live.
I see fucking OnlyFans girls selling like their bath water and shit.
It
All
tastes good.
right.
It's fine. It's vegan. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's Pro Fanatica. Yes, Paul Lindley, drummer, and like this is what it costs to buy semen. This is on Loudwire. What it costs to buy semen at a black metal band Pro Fanatica's merch.
What?
I'm not even joking.
That sentence gave me a stroke.
Can we-
And what's bad is people buy that.
They did. People spent like hundreds of dollars on
Sold
that.
out.
semen.
Genius.
that's just
They're
like
geniuses for that.
The lead
Just saying.
singer of Reign of Z sells her nipple pasties at the end of the show now. So
Yeah.
That is
you need to do that.
I
There
could
you
very
go.
easily be like, I played a show in these undies. They're disgusting. $100.
you might would make some money off
I don't know
that.
how much. Sorry, I just had a vision of somebody like buying them and then just like,
Oh, they would do. Not
I'm gonna
do.
take these home later.
They probably would. That's a bad thing. Is they?
I don't
most
want to. I'm not
people-
encouraging that. I'm not encouraging, but I'm thinking about it.
The nipple pasties is pretty. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That is really good.
'cause you
I
probably
mean,
get,
The
like, all
only reason
packs
she
on
did
the
it.
sheet.
The only reason she did it is people kept stealing her nipple pasties.
Like from the
That's
merch
wild.
booth?
Like
I'm just
someone
saying-
her like they were like getting backstage somehow and jacking her nipple pasties and stealing them.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
they were already removed. They were like,
Yeah,
sitting
that's
on
what
a-
I'm saying.
They were already
Think about putting them
removed
on the table.
That would hurt.
because like we have the interview still, and then she was just like, "God damn, they're gonna steal them." they'll probably buy them.
Right?
I mean, if a drummer can sell like drum heads and stuff, why can't the women
Why can't I
sell
sell
their
my-
nipple pasties?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, so she started selling the nipple pasties after the show was over, and they fucking sold every goddamn
Of
time.
course. That's fucking brilliant. See, I'm living in 2036 like these people. I need to start not picking a lane. Fuck
Yep.
it.
Everything is marketable. Everything is marketable at this point. Because you have there's weird motherfuckers out there that'll
Oh,
buy.
I have some idea. You should see some of my DMs.
Oh,
boy.
I could only imagine. I could only
Yeah.
imagine.
They're
how-
more dry now. The older I'm getting, the drier they're getting, which makes sense. I'm not, I'm past my expiry date, as the red pill people would have you believe. But
Oh, bullshit. The new
I just got told the other day something about my dead cold body would look great in the moonlight.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
what I
I'm like,
mean?
really? I made a post about that. Like,
Yeah, you did.
I was like, is this a compliment or
yeah, you said
like,
you sent me the
Or is that-
screenshot, and I was like, what the? Is this really to
Might be
you?
concerned.
it was a whole thing. And I was like, I'm real used to the morbid and macabre, stuff. But I was like,
The Ted Bundy pickup
The
lines
fuck?
they need though.
yeah. And that's the first thing I was like, I'm not putting the lotion on the skin. I'm not,
No.
I can just picture like Ed Gain, that dude saying, but
Yeah.
mama, like I can't, no.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. So at the point that you're at throughout your guys' entire career, what is the coolest fucking moment in your career that you remember?
in my career, ever?
Yeah, ever. To this point.
While we were playing our set, members of Anthrax were on the stage next to us watching us play our set and like nodding their heads and being like, yeah, we like that when we played Blue Ridge. I know that's like kind of a whatever, and Anthrax is a whatever, but like, you
No.
got to pay homage to the people who came before you. And, being able to not only play a stage adjacent to them was awesome, but having them literally as they're getting their stuff set up, they came out on the stage and like watched us. And that was our first time playing a big festival. And that was just a moment where I was like, holy shit, 14-year-old me would absolutely be losing her shit right now that like I'm playing this festival and this huge band is right there. And when we played Metal in the Mountains, Chelsea Grin was setting up and they watched us play too when we played Metal in the Mountains, which was an amazing thing. And they seemed to like what we were doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was back there when that shit was going down. So I was like, yeah, there was a lot of people that were watching you guys, like a lot.
See, that's why the festivals mean so much and matter so much, because it only takes the right person in the right crowd. And that definitely is what happened for Fate Destroyed. And that's what I want for this band as well. It's just so difficult. The DWP festivals are impossible to get into at this point, unless you're doing their Twitch competitions, and they pretty much have the market on major festivals. So, I want to play Incarceration again, man. That was one of my favorite festivals ever to play. I love Blue Ridge. Wait, this is the new Heart thing. Sorry. I love Blue Ridge, but Incarceration was the shit. I want to play that again.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. How about you, Chris?
It was oddly probably that same moment for different reasons. It was the first festival I played in a long time. Again, post-COVID, never going from never playing a show to being able to actually stand on that stage. And a lot of times, forest for the trees, you don't see a crowd. You tune it out. You get stage fright. I humbly do not get stage fright. But I was able to just actually look up from my shoes and stare at the crowd and the horizon and actually take it in, and not just have it be a flash in the pan while I'm focused on my instrument. And that was almost overwhelming because it was miles, Blue Ridge, miles in every direction of people.
Yeah, it's 8,000 people. 8,000 people. It was crazy.
And I was able to look at just so much of that and just take that mental picture kind of for the first time, like ever, it felt like.
Okay, fair enough. All right, CB, you're up, man.
What is something that you guys collect?
What is it?
Cars.
Hot Wheels.
Oh, cool.
I am a fucking Hot Wheels girl. That's just like a quarter of my collection. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Hot Wheels, and I display them, and that's just like a little tiny morsel. But yeah, I am a Hot Wheels fucking fan. They have to be real cars, but and sometimes like fans or friends will bring me Hot Wheels from their travels, and I'm like, oh, I love it. That's my shit.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
I don't really have a collective
Boxes.
habit, but I have started collecting Kuromi items.
Aww.
So
Show
I
them
only
your
have
hot sauces.
two. I have two. I have a keychain that looks like that, and now I have that. So that counts as my collection.
He also collects hot sauces. Don't let him lie to you. He
But I
had
hate
it
those.
of like
I collect them, then I devour them, and then I throw them out. Yeah.
it's still a collection.
Fair
Okay.
enough. I
Yeah.
mean, with me, it's like I'm a huge Star Wars fanatic. Huge. So I collect all the Star Wars Funkos. And then,
Oh
God.
no!
Dang it, no,
Oh
Chris,
Hmm.
don't hurt me. No.
They liked us until that moment, Chris.
no!
that anything like sports related with Jacksonville Jaguars, OU Sooners, and then I'm a vinyl collector, which I actually just got the most expensive vinyl I've ever bought, which was
Do you
fucking
tell?
$80 for this band, and because it's from Germany, and we actually have them. They're actually our season 5 beginning show for season.
Oh shit,
5.
that's awesome.
Which, if you haven't heard of them, this band is amazing. But Dimitri Paradox from Germany,
Ooh, I haven't, but I will definitely add them to my
Yeah.
play.
awesome. But I paid $80 to get that fucking vinyl over here.
Nice.
So yeah, vinyls can be very, very expensive. So,
I believe that.
which I would, with my band, that's one of my dreams is just to have a vinyl printed.
Same.
So that would be, and I know how expensive fucking vinyls are.
It is, yeah. It's very expensive, and you got to print a lot of them. When the
Yes.
when the demand gets large enough for Fatalist vinyls, we will definitely print some because I have one vinyl that from a band that I was in when I was in The Dreaming, but it's not the same as when I'm the singer. So,
Right. All right, Kaylin, you're up.
So my question is, obviously you're female, so you obviously got to take the longest to get ready, but the boys in the band, who takes the longest to get ready for a show?
well, nobody now.
No.
Nobody now. I mean, maybe probably
I don't think
Chris.
I'm unreasonable.
No, nobody's unreasonable, but Chris does. He quits his hair. He paints his nails. And, Ben, yeah, like, and Tristan just wets his hair. So our drummer is just one of those people who just like is like Fabio, and it's honestly almost annoying because he just like looks nice all the time. He just shows up to places and has like this blonde flowing hair, and just like I'm like, wow, like okay, bro, like
Okay, Mr. Pink commercial. Like, yeah.
I know. I'm just like,
Baby.
dang, I wish he always looks snazzy and always put together. But I think that's kind of what I like about this project as well, because with Fate Destroyed, not that we had a uniform, but we kind of had a uniform, and it was very much like we didn't do the neck black, but a lot of the members did put on makeup or had extravagant hair and stuff like that. And with this band, it's like we're playing mostly brutal music and mostly heavy music. That's all we're playing, actually. So nobody has to get makeup but me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You just sometimes the men are a little more bougie or the others. You know.
With Fate Destroyed, definitely that was a thing. That was Johnny. Johnny took the longest to get ready for everything ever and anytime. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm just saying he took longer than me to get ready.
As long as I don't stink, I feel pretty comfortable with myself.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had to be reminded of something like that.
Of stinking? No.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in the band's been like, "Fuck, Chris stinks. You gotta take a shower at the next Loves, bro."
And I never understood like the mentality, you're getting off stage and you're sweaty, you've been spraying sweat all over people. They don't care. They don't care about that. They still want to come up and hug you.
Yeah.
And all these
They're
guys,
covered in sweat, too.
females, they're like, but I'm sweaty. I'm like, dude, they want it. They just
We're all sweaty.
they want it on them.
Yes.
Mhm.
1000%.
All right, Meg, you're up.
Okay. So she's talking about getting ready as far as like looks. What do y'all do to prepare mentally before a show? What's your routine?
So for me, I'm like Chris. I don't really get nervous before shows, just because I know that whatever I'm about to do is the only place that I feel like myself, right? But I am a big believer in vocal warm up. I definitely do like a 15-minute full vocal warm up. I warm up my voice. I try to do some stretches because I'm getting older now, so my knees don't be taking jumps off of shit as well as they used to. Everything kind of gets a little, so I gotta like stretch everything out. Otherwise, I have the worst hangover. But yeah, so it's a lot of like physical getting ready, mentally getting ready. I'm thinking about the set list. I'm thinking about, I've been watching, if there are opening bands before us, I'm watching their bands. I'm trying to see what is the crowd reacting to? Are they a crowd that likes participation? Are they a crowd that likes aggression? Are they a crowd that likes talking? Because you can kind of see that. And I'm like planning out in my head, our shows are already, the pacing is set up because we do run tracks. And our tracks are like, 808s or stuff in between songs. We like to play samples and stuff like that. And so I know what the pacing is going to be. But definitely I'm just looking out at the audience and trying to think to myself, like, what is this audience going to react to? What can I do to do that? And like, how can I bring that to them in a way that they're going to like?
Fair enough. How about you, Chris?
Stretch for sure. I've been doing certain stretches for every show. Hopefully they help. I don't think I've had any kind of injury. Guitar warm up right after that, and then like throughout the night, I'll just watch the energy level of the other bands. And I used to look at it like in a real competitive way, but not like in a toxic way, where I would just see who had the most energy and just try to equal or outdo them. And that was kind of my motivation back in the day. I've kind of eased off on that a little bit, but I still, end up hopefully throwing down as hard as I can either way. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, fair enough. So for both of you, if you could dig up a musician that's dead and spend an entire day with them learning everything that they knew about the music industry, who would you dig up and spend that day with?
From a fangirl perspective, it would be Bowie, just because I would love to have met him before he died, just because everything he did about being authentically, unapologetically who he was in the face of fuck you, I don't care. Obviously being able to navigate becoming successful in a time when there wasn't social media and things like that, and being able to craft a stage show, him or Prince, I think would be for that for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Chris?
Tom Petty.
Whoa, I did not expect that one.
I did not expect that either. That's crazy.
A little bit.
You have to look at, like, if I'm going to spend that amount of time with someone, like Tom Petty had no controversies or rumors of him being an asshole. He was just an all-around songwriter who knew how to rock. And I could spend a whole day with someone like that for sure.
Okay.
And I love his music as well. The music as well, but like I don't really want to go hang out with Kurt Cobain for like a whole day.
No, that would be depressing.
Like Elvis would probably go back under with Elvis, so I feel Tom Petty's a pretty responsible,
I jam out to some Tom Petty now.
That's pretty responsible. I mean, I think the only thing Tom Petty enjoyed was his, fucking joints every now and then. But...
Who didn't?
Exactly.
He doesn't. What do you mean didn't?
I mean, he doesn't anymore, but he did for sure.
Oh yeah. He was. They were definitely partaking quite a bit. But I think
he just seems like that kind of guy that would just sit there and noodle with you without being a condescending prick about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of look at Tom Petty like I look at like Willie Nelson. Like they never really did anything.
Definitely.
They never did there was no heroin, there was no meth, there was none of that.
Even if
there was, it was
I don't think they were doing it. They were just big on they were just big on the ganja, and that was it. And that's where it stayed.
Yeah, he wasn't known for being like a crazy party animal too. He was just kind of an everyman in that sense.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was just your typical, what I would say, your typical hippie. Back then. Yeah. I mean, I was born in the early '80s, and most of my friends' parents were all fucking Grateful Dead, fucking hippies, and most of them didn't really drink a whole lot. It was just they just smoked a lot of pot, and that was fucking it. There was nothing else. It was fucking pot. It was either pot or beer, and that was it. That was the extent.
Those are my two favorites. I can relate to that. Yeah.
Right. All right, Kaylin, you're up.
While we're on the drug topic, being in a metal band in the rock world or even in that genre, people have so many assumptions about, I bet they're on the cocaine or, you know what I mean? And in reality, and I'm sure people do that. They're they get out there.
Especially in Los Angeles. Oh my God.
But in reality, guys, like there's so many times where I've had to correct people and I'm like, no. And if it is done, like they don't do it in front of people. Like it's not like it was back in the day.
For sure. And I think the other thing that's important is like we've all seen so many amazing people who are musicians fall so hard and really lose everything because of it. It's just not a sustainable lifestyle. You can't like that is how you become a sudden burst and then you fade into nothing. That's how you become a Kurt Cobain. It's just like at the end of the day,
27 Club.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, you know, it's just not a sustainable lifestyle. And it's like I dabbled for sure, especially in my late teens, early 20s. I definitely did. Living in LA, being for sure, I have definitely done my fair share of booger sugar. But the reality is that nothing good or any movement happened in my career, in my life, and for my music. Whenever you're just fucked up all the time, like nobody wants to be around that. People get want to be around somebody. And the thing about music is like, maybe for some people they can go through the writing process while they're, you know, altered or fucked up. But like, because music, especially now, is so much a business, you cannot manage everything while you're just fucked up all the time, you know, and word travels fast. And it is really easy to get for people to be like, I don't want to work with that person. I've heard that they do this drug. I heard that they do that drug, and producers don't want to work with you. It's a weird thing, that a stigma that people have about people who make heavy music, when really if you're doing it seriously and not as a hobbyist, there's no way to do it, because everyone who thinks that they're hiding an addiction is not hiding it. Everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're quick to say, so and so at this show, like, we don't want them to play with us anymore because they were drunk as all get out, or you know,
even alcohol.
I mean? Like,
even if you're getting too drunk all the time, people don't like that shit either.
Yeah. I still remember back in my early days of playing, you know, I started playing in Jacksonville, Florida. And at that time, it was like Limp Bizkit was the big like local band. And we were even playing with like bands like Yellow Card was around then. And there was a one particular band that just nobody would fucking play with, because they would get so sloppy drunk and get on stage, you couldn't even decipher what the fuck they were goddamn saying or doing. And it didn't sound nothing like what they had on like their EP or their CD or whatever. Like it was night and day.
Yep.
Because they would just try to live that rock star lifestyle, and they would go hard the minute they'd be drinking. They'd start drinking at noon. Before
I played a show one time and then never again. It was so embarrassing because I was so lost through the whole thing and all that movement. My stomach. I was a bass player at the time. I was like wanting to throw up so bad because I was trying to jump around. I was having a hard time remembering songs. I'm like accidentally unplugging my bass. It was horrible. And at that time, I was, you know, in a band that was, I mean, they were platinum selling back in the 90s. So it was a very serious group. And they literally came to me and they were like, if you ever do this again, no.
Right. So. All right, Meg, you're up. You get the last question.
And for
everybody that's watching, we're actually playing one of the music videos for Fatalist as going out. We always do. So make sure.
Are you playing Low Life? Are you playing Low Life? It's our newest one.
No, we are not. We actually have Rear View.
Okay.
That's what we're playing. So for anybody that's watching, which there's actually quite a few in here, we're gonna play Rear View at the end.
And then go watch Low Life.
Go, Meg.
All right. What are we looking forward to for 2026? What's y'all's biggest goal this year?
Pragmatically is to keep a consistent release schedule. It is so difficult to keep up on putting out music because every song, especially when you're like our size, is a rollout. It's a mission. We got to keep writing and keep writing and keep writing to put out 6 songs in a year. So that's like an internal goal that I have for ourselves. Excuse me. An external goal that I have for ourselves is I really would like to book some like small West Coast tour, because we're a new band. It doesn't make sense for us to try to hop onto huge things and go do super big tours right now. But I would love to put together a little DIY tour, which we may have in June. and just really get out on the road and really establish like a core fan base here on the West Coast to like start what we're doing. What about you?
More music and more shows. That's it for me. Like, and all the hard work it takes to accomplish those, and that's it.
All right, fantastic. So on that, before we actually play the music video, do you want to tell us a little bit about what Rear View is about?
It's about me being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and my struggle with it. The song literally talks about the dichotomy of being two people. So some of the lyrics are literally, "Fuck it, can't keep running from what I'm becoming. Sick of living like two halves that amounted to nothing." And I feel that in my soul because sometimes, or lots of times, I feel like two very conflicting people, and you think two halves would make a whole, but it seems a lot of times that it feels like I have accomplished nothing. And so Rear View is really, my anthem or conversation to anyone who constantly feels like they're fighting an internal battle and they feel like two halves of themselves are pulling themselves apart. And it's about, the main lyric in the song is I can't stop looking in the rear view, which is like I keep looking back trying to understand who I am, but I can't because that's not where it is. So yeah.
Fantastic. So on that, for everybody that's watching, please go check out Fatalist on all their social media accounts. Go hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you a goddamn thing to hit that follow button. And if you want to really be fucking cool, go hit those little 3 dots and fucking go down and invite your whole entire friends list to go like them. If they're playing a local show, don't be a pussy. It doesn't cost that much goddamn money. Just
not our shows.
Go see them live. On that, here's your review. We love you guys, and we'll be back again Friday night.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Guys, thank you.
Bye.
Can't break the tension. Can't face my own reflection. Addicted to the static, captive of destructive habits. Problematic cause the most keep pulling me back. Every step I take forward feels like death. I'm taking back. So sick of my reflection. Can't stop looking in the rearview. Too late to find redemption. Can't stop looking in the rearview. You know what, fuck it, can't keep running from what I'm becoming. Sick of living like you have that amounted to nothing. Caught in a cycle, trading sanity for toxic thrills. Got my eye on the rhythm, fucking spinning my wheels. Caught up in the rear view. Every day like a different story. For the fame and for the glory, us rise to the god of guess there's nothing left to want.